Check, check, check. Huh. Well, that seems to be making a lot of extra noises. Oh, it's coming from the amp up there. Hi, guys. This is Mark Teaches Music. I am Mark Black, and you're at my improv workshop. This is session number 8. Today is the first day of November, November the 1st, 2022. And I want you to have fun and be awesome. I really do. And so in the improvisation workshops, we're trying to learn to get better at improvising, at adlibbing. And I've said this before, but of course I didn't invent it. The word adlibbing means you're at liberty. So that's pretty cool. We're at liberty to play what we want, to play what we think sounds good, and to learn to get better at it. So just for more information about lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com. And if you got any questions, hey, you're not supposed to hear my check. Hey, John. So if you got any questions about anything, you can drop them in the chat here. And of course, you can email me at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com. There's information about lessons on the site. If you just want to ask me a question, send me an email there. So, so we're not just ad-libbing. Like it's like, I ad-lib, you ad-lib. We just say goodbye. Two ships pass in the night. The ad-lib passing in the night. Not doing that. So we'll talk about some of the things we're doing in ad-libbing. And so you're supposed to like this. You're supposed to subscribe. You're supposed to give me various gifts like cars and land, and in general, just like everything we do, subscribe, and especially share this with other people. So as we talk about ideas with things, let me give you some guidelines in our improvisation, and we're going to do 2 songs today. One's kind of an R&B thing based on "If You Don't Know Me by Now," and the second thing is a jazz thing, a straight ahead jazz thing. We'll talk about it in a second. And it's going to be not hard, but harder. It's probably the hardest thing we've done. And most people, when they think of hard, they think fast, and it's not particularly fast at all. It's so fast is not fast. Can be harder, of course, but fast is not the nearly the only dimension of difficulty. And then this is my theory. There's lots of rock and the bluegrass and stuff like this is hard. Country music is hard, and it's hard from a linear standpoint or actually from a vertical standpoint, meaning that it's not changing a lot of chords, but man, there's a lot of notes in there. Okay, and then jazz and some other styles like progressive rock would change a lot in chords, and you have to negotiate the changes. Now, this is in a different key now. Now it's in another key. Now it's another key. So anyway, so here's some guidelines about our ad-libbing. So there's links in the description of this video, as well as the email I sent out to everybody that's got links that will take you to both the scales to play in both of the songs, as well as the chart. Ta-da! Yeah, so awesome. The chart is there. And the first song that we're doing is in the key of C for C instruments, in the key of for John, or the key of A. But it's all written down there, so you should get that. Open that up, the description of the I think there's 5 downloads today. 2 of them are the chords in the song, and 3 of them are the scales to use in the different songs. And so you'd like to have that just in front of you. So don't sit there and just watch this video. It's to play. It's to play. Yes, there's things to instruct, but the idea is that you would get great, and you would get in there and play in real life, and you sound terrible, and I sound terrible, and it's like, my gosh, what are we going to do? And that's what the thing's about, is getting better at it. So shoot your questions in here, like I said already, and do it. Don't wait. Don't at the end say, I was embarrassed. Tell me you're embarrassed now, and I can pick on you right now. No, I'm kidding. So get in there and play and sing, and if you're a vocalist, sing. So don't wait, and it'll sound great. And that's also, next point is that if you're having trouble thinking of something to play, sing something. Sing it, and you would go like la 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 la, and try to play that. And I was trying to intentionally sound bad, because it's like, it doesn't have to sound good. It's just that it came out of you, and it's an idea. So and I'm going to play through the courses many different instruments in many different styles, and all those are good things. There are things that you can't play well on a saxophone that you can play easily on the guitar. It gives you ideas. Things that you can't play well on the flute that you can play easily on the harmonica. I don't know what they are, but they exist. So playing the different instruments gives you different ideas you wouldn't have thought of, and playing the different styles give you different instruments different things you wouldn't have thought of. And so don't be put off by the styles or the songs. Just jump in there and do your best. If you don't like the song, see how awesome you can make it anyway. Don't play when I play, not because it's so phenomenal when not because it's phenomenal when I play, but because you're listening to what I'm playing, you're trying to react to it. You're trying to think of something even better, even more better. So don't play when the other person plays, and then so you'll have, I believe the way I'm going to do these is you will each have 16 measures. We'll see. I think on the first one we won't do it quite like that. But anyway, so feel free and we want to absorb the changes. First thing we're going to do is listen to this. Now, if you listen to this after, which, the students and people tell me, oh, I'm listening to it, not the live one, but the afterwards. If it's too hard, now this particular one, session number 8, we have a song that's only got 4 chords. They're all in the same key. And then we have a song that goes through, if you count going back, changing from one key to a key we already did, it goes through about 4 keys. So it's pretty challenging, not speed-wise, but challenging, like, oh, I got to get to this other key. But usually, if something's too hard, you can go back to an earlier one, an earlier session, 7, 6, 5, 4, and they get easier. We're not trying to get harder, but, we may do that. So, and then you can just stay, and don't move forward. And then, so I've already said that. Okay, so the first song is the one that is named, there's reasons for these stupid names, but it's called, I think, Days of Crooner. No, that's not right. That's not right. It's called If You Don't Mortal, I think is the name of it. And the point is, it's in the key of C. Now let's listen to it. It's in the key of C, and the chord progression is C, E minor, F major 7, and F over G. Now, you don't have to know that at all, but here's what it sounds like. It's really slow. Now, what we're doing is we're trying to absorb the change. Here's the first song. It starts with a C major 7 chord. Now listen, check it out. Change. It's not a new key, just a new chord. Another chord. And a new chord. So you are trying to absorb, anticipate in your soloing. Say, here comes a change. Here comes a change. You're playing ba ba do ba do ba da da da. You're trying to, here comes that change. You're thinking of the next change. Ba da 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 da. Think about what that next chord sounds like. Ba 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 ba. So, in absorbing or understanding or assimilating the changes and different things that are in a song, you are trying to direct your solo to the change. So when we get to the change, the note you're playing, the thing you're playing just really seems like, oh, Yes, that's exactly what we wanted to hear. Is that easy to do? The more you listen, the more you anticipate those sorts of things, the easier it shall be. So, I'm going to play the guitar on this song, and I think we'll do 8 measures apiece. We'll see. We'll see. It's very slow, so I'll holler. I'll point at you when it's your turn. I'll start. There's my voice. There's this. Not very loud. All right. Listen, see, like I said. So let's start that track. It's really, you're going to see how it's not so slow once it gets going, but when it starts, you're like, what is going on? Yeah. Let me turn that. Take 4 more. Okay, I've changed sounds. Let's do this now. Take 4 more. Okay, now it's my turn, and so one of the things we want to talk about today, here I have this song, it plays a chord. Plays a chord. 2, 3, 4. Next chord. 2, 3, 4. Long time on each chord. 3, 4. And I'll play this chord. So we have a long time on each chord. Now so when a chord is being played, the notes of the chord are the strongest notes to hit. They're not the best notes. They are the best anchors. It's like, whoa, you know. So the guitar, piano, somebody's going. So the strongest notes, not the best notes, but the strongest notes are those. go to this chord. Those are the notes being played. So those notes, so they seem like, they seem very strong. They seem like a very, very good anchor. Not seriously not the best notes, but very good, just exactly like I said, a very good anchor, a very good like, like kind of like solid. So one of the things that we wanted to do, or I wanted to do today, was to get us, now you're looking at your chord chart, which again, the chords are just C major 7, E minor 7, F, and G. So stacks, this is my term, it's not like some amazing term, there's other, I'm sure, better terms. Stacks is my term for the group of notes that always, so every C chord, we've got a C, E, G, and B. C, E, G, B, D, we go on to nines. They might be C sharp, E, G sharp, B. They might be C, E flat, G, B flat. They might be C, E, G, B. But it's a C, E, and a G, and a B. That's making up to 7 chords. We could go all the way to 13 chords and beyond. But the point is, so right now, like a D chord, every D chord would be use a D, skip the E, use the F, skip the G, use the A, skip the B, and use the C. So D, F, A, C would be the notes of all of the D chords in the world. D flat chords, D sharp chords, D chords, D major chords, D minor chords, D major 7s, D7s, D flat, major 7s. Yes, with flats and sharps, but nonetheless those. Now, so that would capture the notes of this chord. I just wanted you to hear what this sounds like. You're thinking, I'm ad-libbing, I want to do something a little more interesting or a little more solid. So let's just hear what that sounds like. And and I specifically did want to do it on a guitar, because all a saxophone or a flute or a piano has to do is play the note. Let's say if it's an A, you play the A, you skip the B, you play whatever kind of C it is, C sharp or C. You skip the D, you play the E, you skip the F or F sharp, and you play the G or G sharp. Hey, you're playing that chord. So it's just a little harder, the same exact idea. So the first chord is this, and we could go, those are the notes of that chord. Now look, I can take my C major scale. Is that easy to do? Well, it is if you've done it a million times. But I'm just taking the first note in that pattern and going skipping that note and using this note, and skipping this note and using this one, and skipping this note. So I'm using a note, skipping a note, using a note, skipping a note, using a note, skipping a note. And what we get when we do that is this sound. I'm going to go through all the chords. Whoops. Well, that's fine. We'll just the world's longest intro. And I'm only doing this so you can see it, just so it's not a big deal. Here it is. So I go. Then I go. That's the E. E, E, G, D, F, A, C, E. And then G, B, D. G, B, D, F. Back. If we do it, every time we do anything cool, play fast, play slow, put in skips, put in blue notes, put in pentatonic scales, whatever we do, if we do it, there's a little fuse going off, that's going to run out. It's at some point that's going to sound boring. So we can hit these notes, hit these notes, they'll sound awesome. If we just keep doing it without stopping, it's going to sound boring. Everything will always be the way. Okay, now it's your turn now. I'm going to give you 4 entire times, which is 16 measures. You should be so happy. And what I want you to do is, I want you to try to play the stacks. That is, play the C, the E, the G, perhaps the B. Ready? And here you go, starting on the C. C. If you're on the alto sax, it would be A, C sharp, E. This would be C sharp, E, G sharp, B on the sax. F, A, C, G, B, D, F. Ba, 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 ba. Back to C. So playing a note, skipping a note, playing a note, skipping a note, playing a note, skipping a note, playing a note. 7s gives us the notes that are being played. They sound a little more dramatic. One more time. It's okay if you experiment around, trying to find those notes. Ba, 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 ba. C, E, G, B, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, F, A, C, G, D, G, D, D, F. I'll go. Try mixing up those chord tones. want to stop that because I want to get to the other thing we're improvising on. But just want to comment that notice the groove. I'm not actually. Let me sorry, I should have said that. In this case, I actually mean the chord progression. Such a powerful progression, and there's a lot of songs like this. I already said that. If you don't know me by now, and other songs. When you're ad-libbing, try to find, if you can, when you can, try to find things that are exciting. I'm just saying this sound. Please excuse the out-of-tuneness of this, So that progression sounds really cool. What I'm saying is you can almost just do nothing, right? You can almost just go. You can almost do nothing. Because the song itself, the chord structure, the drums, that's a different issue, but the groove is there, very strong, very exciting. It's very inspiring, and it's very helpful to you and to me to play along with things that are exciting, interesting, dramatic, in this case, easy and slow, and also at the same time, wow, that sounds epic. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, and I don't want to quit because it sounds so cool. Look at that, came right on. Okay, now, the next song is a jazz piece. You should have that. Starts with an F. It's called Crooner Big Band, something like that, Days of Crooner. So in this song, now the chart that I put up, I don't know if I can get to that or not. I wanted you guys to see. That's not it. And is this it? No. Let's see. I wanted you to see. Let's turn this off. See if we grab another one. So boom boom. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you this, including if you don't. You should have this. I know this is uploaded. I don't know if you uploaded it. What I want you to notice about this, I have written the keys for you to use directly above, because a scale is a 7-note entity. A chord, we'll call it a 3-note entity. So there are many subsets of threes within the 7. So there are many chords that are in the F scale besides just an F. And you'll see on your chart there, it's got an F and a D minor. They're both use the F scale. Then you got an E flat 7, which uses the A flat scale. And then you've got, on the second line, you've got A half diminished 7. There's no, they won't let me correctly notate that as A half diminished 7. So that little A half diminished 7 and the D7 are all in the key of G minor on that third line. And then you got that B flat minor and E flat 7 that's in the key of A flat. And then on the last line, all 4 of those chords, F, D minor, G minor, and C7 are all using only the notes of the F scale. Now, so you're encouraged by that. And one of the things I want to get to with this particular jam that we're talking about here is just to jump to the new keys. And I'm going to do that. That is to not ponder it. Oh my gosh, why is this, why does this go from F to A flat, and it goes to G harmonic minor, and it goes to G Dorian minor, and it goes back, it goes to A flat again. It's going through these keys. Oh, just forget that and go to the scale it says, including if you could just play the scale it says, if you could just play the A flat. Now, I am going to play tenor sax on this, and it just means that for me, it's not in that key. For me, this is not in, the first chords are not F and D minor and E flat. The first chords are G, E minor, and that ain't right. Oh, it's F7. G, E minor, and F7. And so I have different scales. So whatever instrument you're playing, you need to look at the correct chart for you. And John, if you're still on, for you, though, in blue, I wrote the overarching key. So for the alto, that's going to be, the opening is going to be the song's in the key of D for the alto sax, the key of D. Then it goes to F there where it has the A flat. Then on the second line, it goes to D back to D. Then it goes to E harmonic minor, which play E minor, that'll live, which is G, right? This is for the alto sax only. Then it goes to E Dorian minor, which is the notes of the D scale. And we're going to come back to this for everybody. And then on the second key center or scale center in the third line, it would be back to F. And then the very last line, that the whole thing's in the key of D. This is for the alto saxophone, E flat instruments only. Okay, I don't think there's any other. If there are any other B flat instruments, I'm going to be in B flat. Just holler so I can outline that. But so for most of you guys, you got the thing I wrote in blue right there, which is the first two measures. This is the chart. First two measures are in F. Next two measures are in A flat. We're talking to C instruments now, which is guitars and flutes and oboes and different things like that. And then the second line is in F, and then G harmonic minor, which is, we'll just call it for the moment, the notes of the B flat scale. Then G Dorian minor is just the notes of the F scale, and then A flat in the second half of the third line, and then the last line is all in the key of F. This is a saxophone. Oh, it's a big saxophone. Okay, we're gonna turn that off and switch over to me. There I am. Really need a strap for this great big huge saxophone of mine. But when I was in music school and high school, I played the bari mostly, at least in jazz bands and bands. Alright, I'm bringing this sucker around here so you can hear my loud voice, and I'm turning this guy down so we don't kill everybody with the loud saxophone sound. No, for the soprano, it's the same as this alto. I'm talking to John now. I mean, this same as this tenor. So it is bringing everything up a whole step. What's on that printed out in blue? Up a whole step. Instead of the first two measures in F, the first two measures are in G. And instead of the next two measures in A flat, the next two measures in B flat. Okay, now let's see. That is so soft, really bugging me. But I'm sure it's not soft to you guys. Yeah, I'm trying to get my speaking voice loud enough that you can hear me well. Don't know if I'm succeeding in that. Check, check, checkity, check, check. Check, checkity, check, check. So, on all your instruments, I want you to get the idea that, to start with, we can just slide, run to the major scale that's written there. And so here's my progression. And so, let's see. So I'm going to play just the G major scale. Well, actually, yeah. So let me start differently. What I want to start to show you, look, here's the scale, G scale. Then the B flat scale. I'll play it right. Then G again. And then A harmonic minor for me. Then A Dorian minor, which is the same notes as the G scale for me, F scale for you. Then the B flat scale again. Then back to the G scale for me. So I want you to hear that at first, right now, this first go through, I'm going to play exactly those notes like a scale, because I want you to hear it's just the scale. And now I'm going to talk about fretted instruments in just a second. I'm going to go I think that is too loud. All right. We'll try that again. Just trying to get my accompaniment a little louder. Maybe it's just me. So I'm just going to play the opening scale F scale. Now, my point I'm making here, I don't know if you can tell I'm making the point, and I'm being sincere, not smart enough, I can say this. I don't know if you can tell, I didn't try to ad lib, I just tried to get to those scales. Now, you need to have this in front of you, this thing with the sheet with the different scales, and you need to transpose it. I'd have to send out, literally, I'd have to put out 20, of these sheets if I was trying to get every instrument that possibly could listen to this. So we've got this synopsis sheet here, and I'm going to speak in C, key of C instruments, F, then to B flat, then back to F, then to G harmonic minor, then to G Dorian minor, just one note difference, you can miss that. Then to A flat, then to F at the end. So now, I wanted to talk about the guitar players and the bass players, and I meant to do that with a guitar in my hand. So all you guys got to do is use the simplest thing, because this is a jazz piece, is to use your first major pattern. Now this is, when I say simple doesn't mean good, right? or the best. It just means it'll work. So, and I wrote this in the sheet, 2 sheets that you guys have got, and I meant to do this while I still had this in my hand. I'm sorry I got all these straps, but what I was trying to get was, so here, what I'm saying for these instruments, let's go to this picture, is so the song starts off, we're going to get back, and I'm going to get the tenor, and we're going to ad-lib, I promise, and we're going to go later today, a little bit later. So it starts off in F, so I'm playing F, I'm going, A flat, back, and I'm going to go, which I could have stayed in B flat. I'll show you in a second. And then it goes to A flat. This is the first major pattern. Then to F again. So I'm going to show you just me changing through I'm going to stick almost exclusively. I'll tell you about the 6th pentatonic in a minute. I'll do the 6th pentatonic over the G harmonic minor and G Dorian minor. But other than that, I'm using the first major pattern. So here I am on the 13th fret. And I'm right here, 13th fret. That's an F. So I'm going A flat, back to F, A flat, F. it so that you fretted instruments get what you're supposed to do. You non-fretted instruments get what you're supposed to do. Now, we's all going to ad-lib. And so I'll start, because it's fun to start. And we're going to ad-lib. And you'll have a whole 16 measures, because it's kind of hard to jump in on this. So I'll take 16 measures. It's, I don't know, 20 seconds. And let's see if I got this. All right, from the top. I'm first. Just jumping to the scales. And I'm in G. Flat part, back to F. I'm sorry. Here's the G harmonic minor, G minor, A flat, back to F. Yeah. My turn. stop. The track's over, and we're over time. But I did want to make the point. I don't. The difference between harmonic and Dorian minor in for the C instruments, it is G minor, natural minor, and here's the sound. Is that's a natural minor. So a harmonic minor would raise the seventh note. You need to be counting. Now, why is it that? Because those two chords use that note. Actually, the second chord uses that note, the raised note. And so we need that to match what's being played. Also, it punches us over into ba-ba-doo-doo-doo-da-da. It punches us over into the G minor key. Now, when we get to G minor, and it is so we're in G minor. So I played a G harmonic minor. Now for me and John in B flat, that's the A harmonic minor, and we're still raising the seventh scale degree. So when we get to G minor, it's going to be heard as really more or less the 2 of F. It is the second note of the F scale. You know, we're in the key of F. The song starts off in F. So when it gets to that G minor and we get rid of these chords that use these changed notes, the ear kind of goes, hey, you know, you're doing the 2 of 1, right? So that would be Dorian minor, which, and here's the natural minor again. So the Dorian minor raises the 6th note. Now count. And that would be taking the E flat in G natural minor and making it an E natural. And that would make all the notes in that scale starting on G the same notes as the F. And so here's that again. And except if I started it on the F instead of on the G, it would be same notes as the F scale. So anyway, that little change there. Now for the guitar players and the bass players, the best pattern to do harmonic minor, the easiest pattern, right? Doesn't mean it sounds the best, it's just easiest, is the 6th major pattern. You start on the 6th string, you start on the 6th major pattern, you start on the 1 of the minor. So you start on the G, A, B, counting 1, 2, 3, C, D, E, and instead of the F on the 4th string, you would play the F sharp. So you can physically think of it, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, raise that 7th note to get harmonic minor. And again, instruments like the saxophone and the flute and the trumpet, the only way or the best way to play for different reasons, which you can discuss some other time, is by knowing the notes. Guitar players, bass players, and stuff like that, instruments like that, are going to tend to play physically. That is, I know this pattern, this group of notes, and I'm not really totally aware of what all those notes are. So anyway, so it's fine to think of it for those instruments as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here comes the 7th note. I would play this, but I'm going to raise it in 1/2 step and make that sound. Okay, so anyway, so today we talked about 2 important things. One was, I'm calling them the stacks. It is what are the notes that are in a chord, which is a chord plays a note, skips a note, plays a note, skips a note, plays a note, skips a note, plays a note in the scale. So a C major 7 would be C, E, G, B. That skipped out D's, F's, and A's. Left those out to get that C major 7. So we talked about that, and so basically the idea that if you play the notes of the chord, it's very solid sounding, or a good anchor point, a good aiming point. I like to get to one of these notes. Now, those are not the most exciting notes. Those are the most solid notes. Okay, and the second thing we talked about is in the second song, we had to get to different keys. And I don't know if I made the point. I'm going to make the obvious point. You can just jump to that scale. Because, for example, I'm looking at the last song we just finished. It's got an E flat 7. Okay, and I have over it to play A flat, the A flat major scale, like in band. This scale. So you play that A flat scale over that E flat 7. Well, I just played the A flat scale, right? However,
what's underneath it is an E flat 7. So that A flat, B flat, C doesn't correspond directly with the notes being played in the E flat 7. So the ear doesn't go, oh my God, he's just playing a major scale. It just goes, hey, he's playing all the right notes. So I'm saying you can gleefully play these scales as you're learning, just to negotiate to get in the right key as you're learning what to play correctly. Okay, I appreciate you guys. So this is Mark Black at Mark Teaches Music. This is our improv workshop. I'm glad you were here. And let's see, I need to say something amazing, I'm sure. What is it? Something like, no, it's none of those things. So you guys are great. So until I see you again, I want you to have fun and be awesome. And tomorrow night is our question and answer, which you should come to that too. Duh. And that's Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. And to play and sing any questions about music. See you later.